Hang on. Okay, we're good.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Modern Day Mystics Show. Our mission here is to help you turn whatever you desire into real-life manifestations by sharing our revolutionary technology to make that happen for you. We bring you such cutting-edge information through our resident wizard, Peter Shank. I am your co-host, Donna, along with the founder of the program, the Modern Day Mystic himself. Peter, how are you this evening?
Frazzled.
Just a little bit.
Last minute changes. It's all good though. So folks, we're using a new piece of technology called Zoom. We've been playing around with this for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we have decided to use this as the technology of choice to do interactive workshops. And you know, we're learning as we move through it, so we're making mistakes, and hopefully we'll get better over time with it. So tonight's workshop is a free workshop, Navitus 5. Navitus 5 is a piece of software that's been around for about 6 years now. And typically when I write software, the Aquaware product is the first product in the software line that I will update. And as my understanding of how things work behind the scenes grows, I then I implant that into the core of Aquaware, which is what we call the Aquaware engine. And as the product line is being updated, the Aquaware engine then gets planted into all the other products. And Navitus 5 is running the Aquaware 5 engine. Aquaware 5 was released in June of 2016. It is just about 10 years of research and development since Aquaware 1 was born. Aquaware 5 is an amazing product. But I want to talk about Navitus. Navitus is a free product that we give away. It's not a trial. You can freely distribute it to anyone you want. You can download it as many times as you want and install it on as many computers as you want. And Navitus 5 is all about high energy. That's all it does. It utilizes the core technology in the Aquaware line, and it delivers high energy. Some people have described Navitus 5 as Red Bull squared. Some people have said it's like drinking a cup of coffee, and it keeps you sustained all day with energy. Okay, if you get tired in the afternoon, if you get, if you take an afternoon nap, or you're kind of crashing right around dinner time, it keeps you going from the moment you get up until you go to bed. So Navitus 5 is 5th generation technology. Again, it's sporting the Aquaware 5 engine. And as the software line increases over time, Navitus will definitely be upgraded. There's one more product in the lineage, which is the 12th Project 4, which will be being re-released as the 12th Project 5 with a twist. Whatever the last software piece is in the product line, I always put a twist in there. Now, I have no plans to step up my game with software, at least for another 2 years. I want to concentrate on the physical market a little bit more, but I need to get the 12th project done. And then, of course, there will be an Aquaware 5.1 hot on the heels. Aquaware 5.1 might have a feature enhancement, but it's definitely going to have a few bug fixes in there. And if you own Aquaware 5, it's a completely free upgrade to you. So that's coming. So with that said, I want to start off the evening with a quick water blessing. Glass of water, please. Raise your left hand over that glass of water about 3 inches and spread your fingers. Energy that is in physical form or non-physical form will do absolutely anything for you as long as you acknowledge its existence. And honoring the space, the consciousness of water, is the highest form of, we'll call it tribute, if you will. We can give it. Left hand over the glass of water about 3 inches, spread your fingers. In a second, you'll start to feel the energy run down through your hand into the water. At that point, I want you to put your attention on the water and repeat the words out loud. I honor the space in which you exist. energy will start to flow. Now, drink as much as you want and notice the taste and the texture, folks. It's just a goodwill blessing to kind of kick off a rocky start with a new piece of technology. So for those of you that are just joining us, this is the Navitus 5 workshop. We're going to go interactive here in a minute. I'm going to teach you the thought process and the principles behind the software. I'm going to teach you to think outside the box. Now, we have a lot of workshops coming up in the very near future. We're going to probably space them every 2 weeks, possibly. And everything behind it is the reason we're using the Zoom technology. So if you're on Facebook Live right now watching this, you want to click on the link that's below the Facebook Live. I posted it. We sent it out to all the social media. That will bring you into all the goodies that we have on the Zoom technology, okay? You'll be able to ask questions, interact with us. So, for 2 years of doing the MDM show, we've had social media questions all over the place, and Donna's done an excellent job at finding those and bringing it to myself or the guests' attention so we can get them answered. But Zoom is really cool, totally interactive. We're streaming the Facebook Live. We're doing a local recording. This is going to go up to the YouTube channel. If you subscribe to the MDM YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch it, and a lot of good stuff. So with that said, let's rock it. So again, I'm going to go into the guts of how Navitus 5 works. I'm going to talk about, the theory behind it, the methodology, what you can and can't do with it. But most importantly, folks, I'm going to teach you to think outside the box, okay? This is your reality. It's a box. The magic happens on the outside, and a lot of people just don't know how to get there, and it's just delivering that childlike energy that really just kind of pushes you over the top, and that's where the magic happens. Now, the magic would really be great if I could figure out how to use screen sharing. I got it. Yeah, okay, I got it. Donna, can you confirm you're seeing my screen? And the ass end of a cat?
I see it. We see it on Facebook as well.
Okay, cool. So folks, this is the Navitus 5 product. This has been around in one version or another for the last 6 years, maybe 7. I think I released the first one around 2010, right around Source 1. And basically, we have your standard license agreement. We have a forum. You have the usage instructions, which I'll go over in detail. We have a video tutorial and a bunch of contact information, of course, a donation if you feel compelled to make it. Now, under the action panel, okay, there is one intention in Navitus, and Navitus is all about high energy. That's all it does. It delivers high energy into a glass of water, okay? Now, I'll talk about a little bit about the theory. You may or may not know that I had a wake-up experience back in the summer of 2004. It happened at the speed of thought, completely changed my reality, and I wanted to help people on a massive scale. I immediately followed Dr. Emoto's work and was just blown away that if you were able to put frequency or some type of energy through water, you could change the internal structure of that water so it would, take on the characteristics of whatever that frequency was. Well, as part of my wake-up experience, I could see energy in everything, and I knew that I could capture those frequencies, okay? So, Wayne Dyer showed us the power of intention, awesome stuff, and I had both sides of the equation, but I didn't know how to balance it out, and then it hit me. Well, we can use the quantum realm, and if you boil down all of that mathematical blah, blah, blah into its simplest terms, and you are of the mindset that everything is energy, you would know that that energy is interconnected. And that interconnectedness is what science coins the quantum realm. It's a place that has no past and no future. There's only the now. So if you could, wherever you would put your attention, you could send an intention, and water is the perfect carrier, the perfect medium to do that. It is the most programmable material on the planet. So fast forward a little while, and on July 4th, 2007, Aquaware version 1 was born. At the time, it had 180 selectable intents. And from that, there were really 3 pieces to the puzzle: water preparation, which I'll go into, user preparation, and then, of course, the intent. But the hardest part of getting people to first use the technology and later understand how it worked was to have them unlimit their belief system, okay? A child, a baby, up until about the ages of 10 months, sees the world as magic. Everything is magical. And after 10 months, the conditioning starts, and we go through school, and to some point we get kind of dumbed down and we get put inside of our box, and the way we think is just purely conditioned. So, you know, if I was to tell you I have a computer program that allows you to charge water with energy anywhere in existence, as long as you put your attention on it, you'd be like, yeah, right, dude. But, you know, learning, true learning, elevated consciousness learning, okay, is done through experience. In the experience is where the real learning begins, okay? In that exact moment, you unlearn everything you have ever learned for the real learning to begin. And that real learning cannot be brought on by textbooks or someone lecturing. It's only obtainable within the experience, okay? So again, I had that you know, I held up my hand, and we had that picture of the box, okay? Most people exist within the confines of that box. That is their comfort zone. That is where they're conditioned. That's where they stay. If you can, for 1 second, 1 iota, know that outside that box there is no conditioning, and that's where the magic happens, then you would know that where you put your attention, the intention would follow. So it doesn't matter if that glass of water is next to your computer. It doesn't matter if it's a case of water downstairs. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, a body of water on the other side of the planet or a cup of coffee on Mars. All you have to do when you utilize this technology is put your attention where you want the intention to follow. So when you open up Navitus 5, you have the resource panel, which I went through. You have a drop down up here with a couple options. And then, of course, we have the action panel. Now, water preparation, so folks, over time, as the technology has been refined and reworked, you know, we now have water prep down to 3.1 seconds, user prep down to 3.1 seconds, and actually nucleating the intent is 13.1 seconds. And, you know, this has evolved over time to its current state. So what is water preparation? Well, water preparation is a frequency that where you put your attention, the intention, or AKA water preparation, will fall, that goes to the water and removes all of the memories, all of the energy from every place it's ever been, returning it to a pristine state, okay? Followed up by user preparation. User preparation creates a thin veil in the water, so when you drink it, it goes right to the subconscious mind and opens it up for acceptance. Okay, very important key fact. And then, of course, we nucleate the water for 13.1 seconds. So if you still have water left in your glass after the water blessing, it's fine. So, folks, all you got to do is put your attention on the water, click water prep, runs for 3.1 seconds. Taste the water, notice the difference. It just tastes fresh and clear. It's been removed of everything. Now we move on to user prep. 3.1 seconds. We're creating that thin veil in the water. And this is how fast this technology works, folks. you know, on a lot of the shows that I do, sometimes people they feel very compelled to write in or call in and say, "Oh my God, my water was climbing out of my glass. It was moving." Now, when we just finished up the last higher octaves course, it was a very, very powerful course number 004. We were pulling people through the veil, and Donna made a very funny comment to me after the show. Donna, you want to repeat what that comment was?
Well, I was talking about my water. I was like, the water was all over the place.
It was moving.
It was moving. It was crazy. I was like, wow.
And then, of course, folks, we have nucleating Navitus 5. And simply by clicking on this, where you put your attention, the intention will follow. Now, you know, the volume of water doesn't matter either. Okay, you can program a glass of water. You can program a 5-gallon Poland Spring, jug at work if you want, or program water, that you carry with you throughout the day. Or, okay, now this is where the fun stuff happens. You can start thinking outside the box. You can program water that you haven't even come into contact with in the future. So let's say, for instance, tomorrow morning you're not going to have 23 seconds to run the software and program your water for the day. Well, you can do it now. All you do is where you put your attention, the intention will follow, and you program water in the future. Pretty cool stuff. I'm going to kill this screen share and we'll go back there in a minute. So, folks, you're really only limited by your imagination, okay? Whenever you use Navitus is as simple as it gets. Aquaware 5 is the 800-pound gorilla. It has over 1,000 intentions built in. It has some amazing advanced features where you can write your own intention based on some very simple rule sets. Source 5, all about manifestation. Again, total different animal. Light body, total different animal. The 12th project, again, that's all about virtual chakras and chakras, all utilizing the Aquaware core technology. So when you, in Navitus is as simple as it gets. Now, when you use this technology or any of my products and services, you have to approach it with a childlike mind, okay? Because the universe isn't conditioned. It doesn't understand stress and anxiety and, oh my God, I got to pick up the kids and I got to, it doesn't exist. Simplicity, love, vibration is exactly where it's at. That's where it's at. Childlike imagination rules supreme. Okay. So when you are in that childlike mode, magic happens, because remember, your consciousness is the box. When you think outside that box, okay, you are in a place of brilliance, where brilliant ideas are born. And the software, the workshops, the personal sessions, and now the physical product line are all born in these higher octaves, right? These higher places where we exist, and what we do. Navitus is as easy as it gets, and because it's been around a long time, there's a lot of testimonials to it. Unfortunately, a lot of testimonials have been lost over time as we've upgraded the website. But when you boil it down to its simplest terms, it's all about how you operate. You have a glass of water next to your computer. You have a case of water downstairs. The volume of water is insignificant. Okay, the software does everything. So some people will come to me and say, okay, well, why do I need software to program water? You don't. You can program water yourself. Okay, so take the Navitus challenge, and I tell everybody to do this. Okay, I know a lot of the world's foremost masters that are beautiful and majestic beings, and to some extent they all use my products and services, and they all in one form or another tell me that this technology has the power to transform you, has the power to transform the world. Okay, if you can program a glass of water any way you want, Okay, do it. Okay, I didn't invent the wheel. I reinvented the wheel with 21st century technology, utilizing, and here's the linchpin, the power of the microprocessor. Okay, humans overcomplicate everything. We do it in every facet of our life. Everywhere we overcomplicate everything. And if you think for 1 second that you can concentrate on a glass of water with intention to change the structure of it, okay, then do it. Okay, no problem. Utilizing the power of the microprocessor, the software does one thing. It runs the Aquaware 5 engine at whatever the speed of the processor is, which is infinitely into the, the millions of whatever CPU cycles, and it does that one thing. It just concentrates your core. It takes your attention and amplifies it to the nth degree, okay? But again, we're utilizing the catalyst of quantum computing, okay? In quantum computing, there's nothing complicated, okay? We overcomplicate everything. We need to explain it with textbooks that weigh 50 pounds, with, string theory, quark theory, and all kinds of variables, whatever. Everything is energy. If that energy is all interconnected, that interconnectedness is the quantum realm. It's a place that has no past, has no future. In that interconnectedness, we are all connected. Where you put your consciousness, where you put your attention, the intention will follow. That gets amplified by the power of the microprocessor, and you can project the Navitus 5 intention, which is high energy, anywhere in existence, simply by putting your attention on it, okay? And, the technology's been around 10 years. It just keeps getting better. It's at some point in late 2018, I will start work on an Aquaware 6, but right now my mode of thinking is really in the physical product line, and that'll be another workshop. So we'll take a quick break. Does anybody have any questions?
Great time for questions. Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Can we just back up on a couple of one of the things that you said? You talked about, or at least this is what I'm hearing, words not really meaning anything. It's the vibration, it's the intention, it's the feeling, it's can you go a little bit more over that? Because we throw out these words, but we don't put the feeling, I guess, behind it, the energy. Do you know what I'm saying? So
your thoughts are one of the most powerful creative forces in existence. And we had the MDM show last Tuesday, and Ken, what was his name?
Ken Elliott, yes.
Ken Elliott. It was talking, brilliant guy. Yep. Manifesting made easy, 1, 2, 3. And I kept on picking at him to solve, a 15-year-old mystery to me. And that mystery is, how come I cannot manifest a bar of gold? We all manifest different things, and we know based on books and ancient scripts and even people living today that it is possible to instantly manifest. Jesus did it, if you believe in that. Life teachings of the great masters of the Far East was filled with, ordinary humans with superhuman powers, using them for the betterment of mankind. Amazing combination of 9 books. If you can get them on Amazon, I highly recommend them. And so when it comes to intention, okay, knowing the frequency for the intention, that's all done for you. It's already programmed. Everything is done. The only thing that you have to do is where you put your attention, the intention will follow. Make sense, Donna?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to clear that up for folks.
So folks, if you're again, if you're on Facebook Live, click on the link below, come on into the Zoom. You can raise your hand and ask a question. If you want, we'll bring you in live if you have a webcam. This is your time to talk to me, you know, the creator of these products, anything to do with Navitus, we can explore and play with. Whatever you want to do, this is your time. Monday night, 8:42 Eastern, new technology, playing around with Zoom, interactive, having some fun. It's all up to you. You know, a lot of people ask me, where is this going? And I don't have any idea. When I first started playing around and writing this, you think I knew I was going to be where I am today? I didn't have a clue. And I still don't have a clue, but I do hold dear to one thought. The day this becomes work, I'll walk away from it. I'll grow my hair long, well, what's left of it. You know, I'll grow a beard. I'll put on Jesus slippers. I'll throw on a robe, and I'll walk the earth for another 40 years helping people. And, you know, you just have to have the ability to think outside the box. And if you can do that, magic happens. You know, people are waking up everywhere. The whole planet's waking up. And some people, it happens over decades. So sometimes.
I'm laughing at Mark's comment. Do you see that?
Oh, you want me to dress up as Jesus? I got some body geometry for you, Mark. I'll leave that one out. But
share your screen. Share your screen.
You know, some people, when they have issues with the technology, well, it doesn't work for me. I don't feel anything. Remember, the universe is divine perfection. There are no mistakes, ever. There are zero mistakes. Everything works like a Swiss watch. It just works. And as you roll through it, you know, sometimes people are using the mechanics of the software wrong. They're not using water prep. They're not using user prep. Sometimes they're cranking it all the way up. Now, all of the software has physical stopgap measures so you don't detox, and also there's the etherical, the consciousness behind it, right? The consciousness behind these products is childlike. And just because Navitus 5 is free, it still operates based on universal principles and laws. And that is, there is a childlike consciousness behind it, okay? And, you know, when we were very, very young, everyone had a best friend. You know, some imagination, some imaginary whatever, you know, and over time, as we become conditioned, you lose that childlike energy to be able to, you know, connect with these energies that are just outside your box. Well, Navitus 5 is a portal to those energies, okay? There's a conscious creation behind there. It's very childlike. And it only wants to give you what you want. And in this case, it's, you know, high energy. And sometimes people say, well, how is it possible that you can program a glass of water next to your computer? And then I up it one more. I'm like, forget the computer. We're going to program a case of water on the other side of the planet, and we're going to do it in future tense. Why? Because I can. Why? Because I have elevated my understanding of how the mechanics of the universe work beyond the confines of that box. And when you play in that place, that's the place where brilliance is born. Ideas come to you, okay? Navitus 5 is no different. And I'm going off on a tear here, but I'll just talk about the HFA. You know, I had an idea to bring the HFA into fruition. I was given the idea, and then, okay, well, what am I going to do with that idea? I want to create something that's going to help people. So I'm given a little bit more. Okay, let's create something for the vehicle. Well, I already have 3 or 4 things it has to do. It has to have no moving parts. It can't use electricity. It has to be stunningly beautiful. It has to be powerful. It has to get results. Okay, those are my criteria. Next, I was given the metals. Well, I wanted to make it out of platinum and gold. Really? 1 pound bar of gold with a platinum inlay? Yeah. All right. Wants to take out a 300-year mortgage? Yeah, forget about it. So the platinum group metals weren't there, but then we looked at noble metals. Copper, amazing for attracting negativity. Silver, amazing for creating and stabilizing the field. Then the design pops up. Okay, oh, I got this great idea. Now how am I going to manufacture it? I'm a software guy. I don't know anything about manufacturing. Boom, 9 months later, a human birthing cycle. I had the first physical product in the MDM store. Why? Because I was given a bit of information. What you do with that bit of information determines if you move to these higher octaves. And I did. Once that was done, the HFA Plus came online. And once that was done, we had the HFA Mini. Once that was there, we had the Q Shield, and then the IM bracelet, which the timing wasn't perfect, so the universe bumped it up a little bit. What came before that? A product that you've probably seen me do a couple videos on, an energetic compass rose that will clear your land of all negativity. Everything gone. Why? Because the compass will vibrate at such an ultra high frequency. When you're using your consciousness, much like Navitus 5, to project that bubble on your land, nothing can exist within the confines that will vibrates at a lower level. Levels of vibration. This is how it works. You align it, you attune it, north, south, east, and west. Say a couple of words, no pretty candles, no waterfalls, no kumbaya, no crystals, nothing. Raw power and results. Why? Because that is the level of access I've been given to bring these products and services and make them absolutely mind-blowing and amazing and powerful.
You take Lulu's question?
Yeah, I'm reading Mark's now. Right, that's a great point. So I talked about internal workings in the software that, okay, so I get asked a lot, can I use an intention on a person at a distance? Absolutely. Okay. Can I program their water? Yes. Will that intention works? Whether they're conscious about it or unconscious about it. If they're conscious about it and it's in their best interest, it'll work. If they are unconscious about it and it's not in their best interest, it's not going to work. So when you are programming water for yourself, okay, using Navitus 5, and you drink it and you don't feel the effects, there's a reason, okay, that it's not working. And sometimes you will recognize that reason and sometimes you won't, okay? But just know that there are no mistakes. Everything is divine, everything is perfect, and it's always right on time. Okay. Any more questions about Navitus 5?
Yes.
Okay.
So Lulu, and then we'll get to Diane. Lulu wants to know, she's a tea drinker, and she wants to know about the water for her tea. Does she need to program the water first? Or can she program the tea?
That's a great question. Really good question. So there's 3 forms that happen to unprogram water that's already been programmed. 1, you reprogram it using the software. 2, if it's boiled away. 3, if you put it in the microwave. If any of those 3 things happen, there is no programming in the water. You can boil the water, or you can put a pot of water on the stove and you can program it, and then you can boil it, and whatever's left over is programmed, okay? Or you can boil your water, and then when it's hot, you can program it and put it in. But the stuff that evaporates is not programmed anymore. Good
Awesome.
question.
That's a great question. So Peter, Diana has 3 questions. She wants to know, can you use Navitus?
You only get one.
Well, you know what? I think your answer is going to clear it all up for her, because she wants to know, can you program your bath water, or do you have to drink it, or can you program for your pets and for your plants with Navitus 5?
Yes, absolutely.
It's the high energy.
So let me clarify something. In Aquaware 5, under bathing and showering, those intentions run for 8.1 minutes. Why? Because it's bathing and showering. You want the full effects, whatever the intention is you're running. Navitus 5, again, is geared for high energy, okay? And I appreciate that question because it brings up another point. You know, I create a toolbox with a lot of tools in it. And when I do shows and I speak and on the MDM minutes and everything, I'm always teaching people to think outside the box. Use the technology in ways that, you know, I've never you know, wrote about or things. And here's a great example. Okay, Aquaware 5, a woman purchased Aquaware 5, and she used the mold intention to clean out her washer machine. So I guess her washer machine smelled like mold. They ran bleach through it. They did all these things. Nothing worked. She used the Aquaware 5 intention and ran a load using mold or mildew remover, or one of these intentions, and it completely cleaned out the smell. And she said, "Oh my God, it's like better than new." So thinking outside the box, even when you're using Navitus 5 technology, you know, yeah, you can do that. You can take a bath in it if you want. You want to use it on your plants, go ahead. You know, it's up to you. You are only limited by your imagination, okay? When you have the capacity to unlimit your thinking, you know, you are unlimiting your potential, and ultimately that's where we want to go.
Okay. Did you answer Mark's question about his intentions for now versus not being the right time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did a show, and this is a tough one to explain. I did a show a couple of years ago, and one of the questions on that show was, you know, if whatever the pieces, I think it was Aquaware at the time, if Aquaware is such a high vibration tool, why do you have the intent? And I think that the intent was for hunting, okay? And this person associated the intent of hunting with something that wasn't of the light or a higher vibration. And the reason, Mark, I'm explaining this is I'll tie it together. And there's a belief system that I have that although you have the ability to make a choice, you really don't have free will, because that choice has already been made for you based on your book of life. And it could have been, okay, so we take that hunter and we're going to use it in the context that he's hunting deer. And I believe that's what they mentioned. And this hunter goes out and he's following the game trail and he wants to bag a deer. And the Aquaware intention is going to help him mentally, physically, more stamina, and maybe even eyesight to attract that animal into his clutches, and ultimately he's going to eat it on his dinner table. And I went into another level of thinking on that show, and that level of thinking was, you know, it is the deer's choice to experience, you know, giving himself up so that this hunter could eat him, and it went really deep from there, and I'm not going to get into that part of it. But getting back on point with Mark's question, what was his question again?
Well, his question basically is, he is wondering, I'm just going to read it just so we won't have to paraphrase it for you, Mark. Peter, you have told me in the past the reason some intentions I program into
right. Yeah.
Your software.
So some intentions just don't work for people, okay? Or they're working on levels that they can't perceive it. Just know this. If an intention is, you feel like an intention is being blocked, it is. Why? Because that intention could alter your experience on your current trajectory. Okay, so case in point made. People ask me for lottery numbers more often than not, and I don't give them to them. Okay, why? Because it's unnatural. So let's say I give Donna the winning lottery numbers for the $400 million Powerball, because she coerced me into doing it. Okay, now Donna's going to win that $400 million, but that $400 million was never meant for her. So three things are going to happen. Donna's life is going to go to shit instantly because that money was never meant for her. The person that was supposed to receive it, we've just altered their trajectory. In me being the perpetrator of this triage, karma is going to come back and completely wreck me. Okay, so I'm
going to hell.
Very, very careful about what I do. So if Aquaware had a lottery intention in there and it just didn't work for you, now you know why. So you could take the framework and the contextual idea that I just gave you and kind of slip it into the framework of an intention that's not working for you. Think about it. Why wouldn't that work? And you may or may not know, but just know this. It's always working in your best good. It's always working in your highest interest. Did that hit it, Mark?
So, Mark, you and I are not getting lottery tickets. That's the bottom line. All right, here's another one. Let's see. Oh, okay, Mark. You got some more in there for us? He wants to change his life book to bring the lottery, or were you saying the lottery into his life? So doesn't sound like you can change your life book. Thoughts on that, Peter?
What?
No thoughts on that? It's an absurd thought. Changing your life book. I mean, can we change our life path?
Yes and no. Okay, I use this example a lot to really have people understand about the experience, okay? I always talk about the real learning begins when you've unlearned everything you've ever learned. And the truth of that is that the real learning is not through a textbook, not through conversation. It's not through someone else's experience. It's through your experience. Only in your experience can you truly learn, you know, the real stuff. So here's something I'll share with you, okay? I had an amazing Saturday. I was in New Hampshire and I was flying a drone. Okay. Now you couldn't write this. I mean, this is my reality day in and day out, but this one really stood above all of them. So I'm driving down the road and I go across this bridge and I look to the right and there's just this absolutely amazing railroad bridge, right? And there's a beautiful river running under the bridge that I'm on, and under this one, there's a parking lot. So I do a UE and I go in there and I get out the drone. I am an experienced drone flyer, trust me. And you know, I'm taking footage for another commercial I'm going to produce with this new energetic product coming up, and I need really good footage to do this. So I fly the drone through the railroad bridge, right? And the steel structure is causing compass interference. Okay, folks. The product that I'm shooting the video for is an energetic compass. Bing! First, like, oh, the universe is playing with me. So I get the drone through, and then I take it up and over and down on this side. And I fly it down the river a few feet off. I turn around and I'm coming back. And I fly it over the bridge. So now I got the drone hovering about 10 feet over the river between the railroad bridge and the road bridge. So I'm flying it up the river, and all of a sudden I lose sight of it in the camera. So now the drone goes underneath the other bridge. Okay, big mistake. Compass goes, and I'm watching the video and the video goes blank. I'm like, oh man, I just crashed it into the water. So I freak out. So I go down this steep embankment with wet snow, and there's rocks underneath it. And as soon as you put your foot down, it goes right up to your kneecap. And if you twist it this way, you're gonna pop your kneecap. So anyways, I get down in there and I can't find the drone. So I go back up and I'm looking down, and the water is probably moving about 5-6 miles an hour. I'm like, it's probably down the river, and I'm really pissed. So I get back up, I go down the other side, I come down the other side, and I'm looking for it. And I'm like, wait, I've got, an hour of some of the most beautiful video I've ever shot on that SD card. There's no way the universe is going to let me lose that drone. Okay. It's just not going to happen. So another few minutes go by, and I'm looking in the water. I'm like, it's gone. This doesn't make any sense. And I look up, okay, and so if the drone came in on this side of the bridge, you have those like I-beams, those metal I-beams. Well, the last one over here, it kind of looks like an eye. The drone is plastered on the inside, going bleep 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 bleep. It looks like a light bulb, like a bug on the wall. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that's impossible. Okay, I'm like, okay, how can I get it down? It's about 15-20 feet up. I'm like, how am I going to get this down without putting it in the water? I'm thinking maybe I could call like the fire rescue. I lost my kid. My kid's stuck on the bridge. Well, really, it is my kid. And, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to cut it. So I'm like, I need a 30-foot stick. I turned my head. Literally right there within 40 feet at the edge of the forest is a tree that's old and has fallen over and is the perfect length. I walk up, I pick it up, I go down there, I wedge it, I slide it all the way over. I'm like, wow, this didn't go in the water. I move the stick, it starts to falls right in the water, but not in the current. And I grabbed it and I picked it up. You can't write this stuff. I'll post a couple of pictures of this. It's just stuck in a place that's just crazy. So why am I saying all this? Where am I going with this? Oh my God, I get off on these tangents. So Mark, if the intention doesn't work for you, there's always a reason behind why it's not working. There's always a reason behind it. And if you look for the synchronicities of how the universe delivers things in perfection, the compass goes crazy on the drone while I'm filming a commercial for an energetic compass device. It didn't go in the water to ruin one of the most brilliant, and I'll share this when the commercial comes out. Here's another synchronicity, right? So there's a place up there called the Ledge or something, and it's a beautiful overlook this valley. Well, it's closed off because of the snowfall up there. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to fly the drone. Now this drone has a 4.5 mile video link in length, and I was about 1.5 miles from the ledge. I get the drone up, and it gets out to about maybe within 300 feet of the ledge, and I'm watching the video, but the video is starting to blink. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to lose this. This happened before it went in the drink, and I returned it home. And when I looked at that SD card after I went in the water, the SD card was fine. I was watching that footage of when the video was blanking out. There is the most beautiful purple you have ever seen in your life on this video. The hallmark of Saint Germain, right there in the video. And I've worked with Saint Germain for years, and part of that reasoning of why I couldn't see the video, those little synchronicities in life, how the universe delivers it. Why? Because it wanted to save the shock and awe of what was actually happening and being captured. There was an energetic field that was preventing the drone from going, but the universe showed me that it was Saint Germain that was, showing himself, and it's spectacular, and it'll all be in the commercial when it's released.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So here's a question. childlike, is that more of a surrendering? Do we need to surrender our thoughts, our way of being and becoming childlike?
Watch a child.
Okay.
Watch an infant. Okay. Everything is magical. You're conditioned inside here. This is your consciousness. Okay. Being childlike is being in the zone. It's being giddy. It's being, experimental. It's being, it's being a child. It's being, just in an amazing energetic state that when you know that you're utilizing these products and services, that you are in a place where everything is possible and nothing is impossible. Being conditioned teaches us that a lot of things are not possible, but yeah they are. It's just unlimiting your thinking, thereby limiting your potential.
We need some play groups again, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. All right.
Any more questions, folks? Or I think we've covered all the angles.
Any more questions? Navitus 5. Do you want to talk about our free companion gift? The free the free companion gift? You want me to talk about it?
Sure.
Well, of course, the free high energy workshop that people can take, and it's a workshop that you can download. And
right. Duh. Sorry. The high energy workshop.
High energy. It's free.
So in that workshop, I did that last year, I believe. I teach people how to locate an energetic source within their body. And it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more energy that it creates, the stronger it gets. Yeah, that was a fun one. All right, folks, I hope you like this quick workshop. We've been going for almost an hour now. Just hang in there with us. We had a couple glitches tonight. Those are done. We know what we're doing moving forward, and we're going to do another workshop in a couple weeks. I don't know which software product yet. And, this is your time to jump on board and ask us questions. We're just kind of giddy. We're not doing a show. I'm not doing a teleseminar or any of that. This is my time with you. We're taking out on a Monday night, and if you find them worthwhile and you want to know more, we're going to be doing workshops on the products. We're going to be doing these free workshops on the workshops, and I'll probably talk about some personal sessions at some point. Maybe we'll do some live healings on one of these. If you need something done, boom, Johnny on the spot, you got me. And yep, that's about it. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.